back to another glorious episode of the Pick It and Flick It podcast. I am usually kind of the co-host, but
I'm so proud of you.
But Vaux wanted me to introduce the show today.
You're growing up so fast.
So that's Vaux over there.
Hi.
And I'm Luke. I also run a YouTube channel called Confused Reviews.
And you just released it.
I finally.
Oh my God.
Well, when this is recorded, this is going to be part of the larger Halloween special extravaganza fun show that we got planned for you during the month of October. But it's not only special for that. We also have Tasha joining us once again.
Hello.
Is this your third one on here?
Yes.
We're going to lose track if we haven't
so.
already.
Yeah, because I did Knives Out, and then I did...
Well, we didn't do... Why do we always talk about that one that
We
never
didn't
got
do
made?
Well, that
it
that
never
one,
came out.
that was...
It wasn't released.
What was the other one?
Joker.
I didn't do Joker.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That was your first one.
Yeah, Joker was the first one, and then
Oh.
what was the one?
Why do we do this every time? We spend the first 5 minutes of the podcast talking about who's been on what.
Because we want you to go back and listen to our show so you know all of the history of our show.
But
Oh,
Fox,
the
what did we watch
Lighthouse.
tonight?
Oh, The Lighthouse, that's right.
Yeah.
What did we watch tonight?
So, I know we're not supposed to put a number on it,
Mm-hmm.
but
the first.
just to start off
To
this
get the ball rolling,
excellent idea of ours.
which is Halloween-themed podcast around Halloween. This is groundbreaking.
It's just amazing. The Guest from 2014.
Correct.
And the reason I say 2014 is because I'm sure this isn't the only The Guest
Right.
or Guest titled movie.
Yeah,
So.
which is a newer film on my radar. But the first time I saw it, I was hooked, and I think it's everything I've ever wanted in one movie.
I wanted
in an hour and 40 minutes.
I want to take a second and have all of us explain what genre we truly think this movie falls
Well,
under.
that's the thing, is it's not what genres is The Guest, it's what genres aren't in The Guest. And aside from like a big musical number, and mind you, there's a lot of music in this movie.
There is a lot of music in this movie.
I would say it hits every base, all a home run.
Yeah, there was some romance in there.
You got it all.
So why was this your pick for the first?
This was my first pick in the entire draft. Was I wanted to do The Guest because it's like I said, brand spanking new to me almost. I didn't see it when it came out, and I just fell in love with this movie because it's so fucking crazy that like if you're not digging one scene, just wait till if you're not digging the romantic sex scene, wait 30 seconds till he starts jumping around the house dodging bullets like the fucking Terminator, you know?
And that is the vibe that I got at the halfway point.
Right.
You know, so we should start off by saying that my first note in here is title screen equals bad font.
That's the John Carpenter font.
It's
So how fucking dare you?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh my
It
goodness.
looks like I didn't know what to expect going into this movie, first of all,
Right.
because I've never heard of it. And second of all, because it didn't come off like The Guest. Like, that doesn't come off as like some horror flick. Like,
Right.
You know,
I
like,
think it does.
That
The
doesn't
guest,
sound-
like it makes it sound like someone that is in your home is supposed to be your guest, but they're clearly not.
Well, way to fucking spoil the whole movie, Tash, because that's what it was.
Oh yeah, spoilers for this entire movie. Go see it, please.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix for who knows? Probably
Is that how
tomorrow.
you found it?
No.
Okay,
I if we're want to dive into that, is I got really into the behind the scenes of this movie because the director is a guy named Adam Wingard, and he works with this guy Simon Barrett who wrote it.
Okay.
And he's who I was listening to that he was talking all about this movie, and I was like, no way this movie is how he's describing it. And then I watched it and I was like, holy shit, he was right. And those two, they did You're Next, if you saw that with the masks of the animals.
I know.
The home invasion.
Yeah, I know what
Great
that is,
movie.
but-
They did both the VHS 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
They were involved in that, and they're just they're a pretty solid pair. They also did the Blair Witch reboot, but we're not going to talk about
was
that.
Terrible.
I'll give them a pass because of how good The Guest is.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
Luke actually read a BuzzFeed article of top 10 horror movies you've never heard of, and that was on there.
Was it? Because I didn't
No, I'm
read that.
joking.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
For those who don't know, Tash is obsessed with BuzzFeed.
I was going to say, you wouldn't catch
I
me
love
dead
BuzzFeed.
reading the BuzzFeed.
No. So, to start off, I'll start, like, running through this.
Right.
I immediately saw like how the character development is going to go with this guy.
Yeah.
And I like when movies are very slightly predictable. When it gets to the point like it did later on, which I'm sure we'll crawl through, I don't like it anymore. But but when a movie is like slightly predictable enough where there's a twist on what I thought was going to happen, I'm all for it. So immediately, crazy guy comes into a house, claims to be a friend of the son or the son of this couple.
The family has a deceased son who was a soldier, and as they're grieving, this guy David makes a sudden reappearance and says the first thing he was going to do was go to talk to his family, which, if he wasn't super attractive, would be a weird fucking thing for anybody to do.
Really weird.
And that's what I like about this movie is because from the get-go, you're like, maybe this is kind of a good guy. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't even talk about, what is his name, Caleb? He doesn't even talk about Caleb like it was one of his like good friends.
Right.
He's like, oh, we were just in the same unit. So unless it was like, I was expecting them to be lovers or something.
A Brokeback Mountain situation?
I don't know, but the way that he was coming in, like, oh, I wanted to meet his family, it seemed like they were lovers, but they weren't.
It's safe to say this is a fresh take. I have not thought this.
So when when we're watching it, he starts like doing this phase out kind of thing, and that's where like the thriller and the psychological thriller vibes came in for me, because there'd be like this really high moment where they're like, you can stay here and don't worry about it, and then all of a sudden it's like him in the bathroom like looking in the mirror, and it's like super eerie sounding music, slow fades on his voice.
He's just like, he's almost like a robot. He just kind of stopped.
And I had that first scene when they were really zooming in like really slowly on his face. I had to like kept like adjusting my eyes, because I swear that you could like start to see his face kind of change. Kind of bags under his eyes start developing. Yeah. A little bit of darker, obviously makeup in that case, but like his face kind of got sunken in a little bit, and I was like, is he kind of? I was expecting like a demon or something, you know, because I still didn't know where this movie was going.
Because you never really know. Like even at the end, you're kind of like, well, what? That yeah. It's everywhere. All the time is how I would call it, because it's a horror movie, it's a thriller, it's an action movie, it's a comedy, it's got a lot of music, and it's a drama too, because right from the get-go, everyone's crying.
Yeah, absolutely. So my second note on this, because I've been I'm going to be taking notes with all these movies, but I said called for a redemption story, got a redemption story. When he picks the brother up from school, bar fights equal awesome. So the first like intense scene that we start seeing here is the brother is obviously being bullied in school. It was a real quick moment, but we're seeing like this picked on kid.
It's something we all know.
Yeah,
we all understand it.
It's the Peter Parker story, if you will, But then he's like, you can tell he's like, fuck, these high school kids are picking on this guy. Like, let's go take care of this. They go into a bar, and that's when I was like, wait, what kind of movie is this? Like, what's happening here? Because there's this insane bar fight, and it involves, pouring drinks in people's faces and
snapping ankles
and smashing pool
Well, because
sticks.
he's a real smooth talker too. That's a big part of it, and he convinces the bartender to kind of feed into it, and then just immediately kicks the shit out of all of them.
Yeah, and the funny thing too. You asked this earlier, I think. Where does this movie take place? Like, where are we?
Well,
I think it's like a midwestern town.
There's the bar is just called Bar, and then the restaurant that Anna works
diner,
at is
of course.
just restaurant.
Right.
It says restaurant
Those are my
on the
favorite.
big sign, and then there's a sign that's on the physical
building
restaurant that says restaurant.
Well, this movie obviously didn't have a huge budget. I think it was about $5 or $6 million total. Which
that's
for
insane.
This movie is brilliant, and it looks really good.
There was two parts where I was like, "That's cheesy," and the rest of it. I mean, the blood looked good. The sets were incredible. How they got the sets like that?
That finale in the maze is it's really like, something.
What the heck? So we start continuing to chug through into my next point. I think that's where the train's going to keep me going on this.
Right.
We start getting into the daughter and or sister of the kid that's getting picked on.
Yeah.
And that's when I started noticing the music, and you pointed it out to me, but I wasn't really like paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the movie, and that becomes like we're about a quarter of the way in the movie at that point, and music just becomes a subtlety, man. Like that is just there.
It's there.
Through
It's
the
almost
whole
like a
thing.
character of its own,
right?
Honestly,
and it's evolving and it changes with each scene. Now that's not something that we're obviously ignorant to.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that even video games. When there's a boss fight, the music starts picking up.
Right.
So when the music starts getting like really deep in the sound, and mind you, it's all synth wave.
Well, would you like to know
Retrowave.
a little backstory? So,
Tell
like
me,
I
please.
said, this is very heavily John Carpenter inspired. I don't know how familiar you are. I'm sure you're not very much. But
I know who John Carpenter is.
But The Thing,
Yeah.
They Live.
Yeah.
He loves synth. Okay, so when it came for this movie, the composer, I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
I'm
cry
curious.
about it.
I'm gonna look it up while you're
But
talking.
he used some of like John Carpenter's actual like synthesizers from like way back.
So like Moog synthesizers. Music by Steve Moore. Steve Moore. Okay, here we go. A New York-based multi-instrument producer, film composer, best known for his synthesizers and bass guitar work with Zombie. So that's the I know who Zombie is. It's an American
Rob Zombie.
No, not Rob. No, just Zombie.
That's
Zombi.
That's almost foreshadowing to later on in this extravaganza.
That's really funny, actually, now that I'm reading that, because of course he's playing with Zombie, and he's just like this dark, like beat booper.
Right, and then there's another obvious Carpenter reference with the 3 silver shamrock masks from Halloween 3, which also is see how this all flows.
I don't know. The soundtrack to this movie is dope.
It's killer.
I was really
no pun
excited.
intended.
And not to plug my own shit, but you plug yours.
Please.
I'm a producer, and a buddy of mine has been and I what was that?
It's a ghost.
Okay.
It scared me.
We're talking about scary things, so now we're getting spooked in our own basement.
Wouldn't that we catch a ghost, or like we listen to it back and there's like
yeah.
It's like Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
No.
You have to be Zach Baggins.
Anyways,
I
long
wouldn't
story
wanna know
short,
if our house is haunted.
a buddy of mine and myself we've been producing music together for a long time. We've been releasing albums every couple of years that are based on a different genre of electronic music. We just released one this past spring, and it's all synthwave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all retrowave and
Oh,
real dark vaporwave. So I was really excited. I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" I just got done like producing this stuff, so
That's why I knew you'd get a kick out of it and appreciate it.
And
because
I'm a music guy anyway.
it's a big part of it, and
so my next thing here, which is going to tie back into the insanity that we're about to get into at the second half of this movie, through the whole first half, there's just subtle hints at action. We got the bar fight. He goes to a party. Some guy tries grabbing onto a girl, and he slams his head against the wall. It's just enough. Like, it was kind of like, where's this going? And then peak of action. And then another part would kind of slow down. It's like, where's this going? And then boom, another peak of action. I really liked that. Mm-hmm. I really liked the subtlety where they're like, hey, you can continue watching. We promise we're going to get there, but here's a little nod of what's going to happen. Here's a little bit more, a little more sprinkled it on
keep
there.
dangling that carrot over your fucking snout.
I just think
right
of the
until the
guy
end.
that's cutting the steak
Oh,
up
the
and
salt?
then the salt meme guy.
Well, you never knew, like, the whole movie, I was like, what is this movie about? I mean, I know I said this with The Lighthouse,
Right.
too, but I was just like, what is this movie about? Like, what is going to happen? Why is this a horror movie? Like,
I think the better part about this though is the Lighthouse didn't give us any fucking answers.
This one at least.
This one
made it
Yes.
this one
Yeah.
literally laid it out onto
yeah,
our lap.
Lighthouse. You had to do some homework.
And we still didn't understand
This
it.
one was the cheat sheet. I that's what I'd compare them.
This is the Spark Note version of what an
Well,
action
because
movie
I feel
that's
like
a thriller is.
if I didn't say this was a horror movie and I just put this on and like showed like my mom,
Yeah.
she would think it's like a PTSD like dramatic war story of like a fallen hero coming back to avenge his fallen comrade, and then it just turns a fucking 180, and then 5 minutes after that it swings back the other way. I just moved away from the
It's
mic.
all right. They can still hear you. Turn your volume up. I just you consider this a horror movie?
I'd say horror first, yeah. that's where I'd put it.
I'd say thriller.
I would say action thriller for sure. Okay. I don't think I would even put this towards horror.
Really?
Dude, there's no demonic, fucking hints here. It's just a guy that goes absolutely nuts because he was experimented on in the military. Like, there's nothing horror about that at all. Not that it wasn't a good movie. I don't
know.
I think the only reason...
I saw a guy get fucking stabbed with a box cutter and then he bled out on the floor. I'd say that's pretty horrifying.
I think it was more gory than anything else. If we're going to classify it as anything, I don't think it would be horror. The only thing that's connecting this movie to this list is that it was based around Halloween time.
And it's got a lot of John Carpenter music.
That's what's going on. So, I literally just put ending turns crazy.
Well, before we get there, I would like to take a moment to talk about my favorite character in the whole movie.
Okay.
The dad.
God.
Okay.
Who is a fucking hoot the whole way through.
A terrible actor.
No, he is tremendous from start to finish. With his crippling alcoholism, where if he doesn't mention alcohol, he's not in the scene.
You're right.
I'm surprised he didn't mention it when he died.
His name's Leland Osler.
I couldn't even get a drink.
That's his name. So shout out to him. I'd like a spin-off movie, maybe his escapades at work beforehand.
Yeah, and yeah, I would watch that.
I
could see a couple. I'm not even gonna go into it, but I could see a couple of things happening. That would be fun to watch.
Get on that, Simon and Adam, please.
So, Luke, when we do this thing where we start watching a movie and we kind of talk like in between because we want to discuss kind of what's happening, even though we're supposed to be watching the movie.
And we riff a little bit.
Yeah, we go back and forth. But the first thing that Luke said was like, "This is the best character in the entire movie." And Tash, like she just mentioned, it's like, he's so bad. Like, he's a bad actor.
and I pointed out to them that just take note of how much he talks about booze.
And you're right. And now that you just said that too, every scene he's in, he's talking about alcohol has a drink in his hand.
Aside from his death scene,
right.
He's drinking.
Want a drink? Want a beer?
Yeah.
I need a drink.
I'm going to have another drink. Would you like to join me?
We need like a super cut. I bet like 20 minutes of this movie is just him asking if David wants a beer or not.
I'm fine with that. That's funny. So this is where the halfway point is where it starts to lose me.
I think that's the make or break for audiences in general.
Yeah, we've talked in the past, like, we liked this portion of the movie, but this happened and it kind of lost me.
Right.
Like with The Lighthouse, we talked a lot about how every time they went to go like unveil the story a little bit more, they changed it, and I'm like, stop it! Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
This is the exact opposite. They unveil everything all at once.
Right.
And it's insane. And I mentioned, I've never seen John Wick. I'm sorry. I'm a sinner. I know. However, this reminds me of what John Wick would be.
Which is interesting because Lance Reddick, sorry if that's not how you pronounce it, is the concierge in the John Wick franchise. In this movie as the badass corporal of the army base. And he kicks ass in John Wick, and he's a fucking absolute top tier player here too.
That's the head guy that is at the end crawling around.
Yep.
Okay.
The guy who gets killed with a box cutter, and then for some reason David just leaves his gun by him.
Yeah, it's like
was he trying to make it look like he killed himself?
Right. Yeah, that's I'm assuming was the plan. Or
I didn't pick up on that.
But who knows? Either way. He's perfect in all the right ways, I feel like.
So basically what happens at this point is a crazy person gets even crazier. Military people come to try to get him, and he's like, he tells the parents, "Oh, I lied to you. I haven't been very truthful to you." And he's just like, and I think that the way that they explained it is kind of boring.
Well, Well, that's the thing is they don't they give you like little nuggets like of what might be going on.
I'm just talking about the storyline itself,
right?
Like, oh, he was part of a secret military operation, and he was. Oh,
so you're saying that's boring?
Yeah, it's boring, man. Like, I don't know. It's not like he's the Terminator where he's like made of metal.
He kind of turned into the Terminator.
Yeah, but still, like, okay, so what? He's got superpowers. Is that what you're hinting at? He got,
Well, no, because he got hurt.
Right, but I'm saying is like. He was injected with the super soldier serum.
Compound V.
He's running around. I don't know. That part, I was just like, what a cop out. Okay, he was experimented on in the military and then went crazy. What a cop out. It was cool. The first half was like a straight thriller. You didn't know what the fuck was going on. Second half, he's just slaughtering everyone. He throws 2 grenades in a goddamn diner.
Wait, what about in the first 13 minutes of the movie when he just kills a fucking high school kid? Did you hear how hard that kid got hit?
Oh, yeah.
He might be dead.
Yeah, he might be dead. That's true. But the whole thing is, though, the way that they explained why he was doing stuff.
There's such frustration in that little scoff there.
I know. He's programmed to clean up his the missing links. So anyone that knows about him, he's got to kill him.
All the loose ends got to be tied up.
Like, what the stop it. You're throwing 2 grenades into a diner full of old people because some bitch that you screwed earlier on in the day learned that you're not the person.
Well, she was already dead. He didn't have to throw the grenades. That was just a bonus. He just fucking shot her.
Well, he shot her and then he was like, oh, all these old people know who I am. Here's 2 grenades, bitches. I don't know.
As if they could see him anyway.
A little over the top on it.
Cataracts.
The ending is
excellent.
Is where
it's perfect.
It is a good ending. I'm not mad about it. Well, let's talk about that.
The set design, for one, is brilliant. Whether or not, I don't know what fucking school this kid went to, because I sure as shit know that my budgets for any school event was about $5. So
and
this
you
shit
went to a big school.
I didn't. Yeah, and it was fucking ass.
Yeah.
But whoever the student council is, I don't know if they ran a car wash, bake sale, or however they got that money, but that shit looked top notch.
Yeah, because you saw like a total of 10 kids from the school.
I know.
And one of them was wearing a 5-gallon hat in the classroom, so you know that it's from somewhere in the South or Midwest, like you mentioned.
That guy with his collar popped up.
Yeah, he was a pimp, man.
God.
And it's like, you don't have any money for that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any money to throw on this huge-ass show,
yeah,
build
I'll give
a
him
maze,
a pass.
and a butcher shop, and a giant fucking mirror maze or whatever.
I wish I had that in high school.
Yeah, but the set design is fantastic, mixed with the music, mixed with the ominous, really bad. Oh, I want to point out the second thing that I thought was cheesy, other than the fact that he got shot one time and it was like pink blood splattered on the wall, and then he went, or no, it was just one of the
he
military
killed
guys.
one of his cronies.
The military guy. That was a bad kill. Second one is when there's dry ice in the gymnasium. And she's like kicking it out of the way to see if she can find David, who she had just shot. And where she put her foot to move it out of the way, it was like 3 or 4 inches to the right. And it was just like, it looked like they blew air on it. And it just scattered all over the place. It? Yeah, it was a very bad lineup. That should have been reshot.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What the fuck?
I know. Get your shit together, guys.
0 stars.
The cool part about the ending, and it's typical scary movie, like you were mentioning, bad guy dies.
Air quotes.
Dies by redemption arc of young boy who was getting bullied because he taught him how to defend himself. And then they're sitting in an ambulance, all like, yeah, we're fine. We'll be good, even though our parents are dead.
Cut to montage of every time that's happened before.
And then all of a sudden, here's they mentioned, there's 2 bodies burned inside because there was a fire.
But wait a minute, if we're counting the kills, that's 3.
Yeah.
David's the 3rd.
Well,
they did mention something about the teeth being gone out of
that's
one
what
of
I was.
them.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. We knew there was 2 people inside.
It was David and the teacher that looked like Will Forte.
Oh, that's right.
And the corporal. I almost called him concierge, but that's John Wick again.
Yeah, you're right.
So he was.
He said there was only 2 kids or 2 bodies.
That's what I'm saying, because he walked out.
So what about the missing teeth?
He probably knocked out the teacher's teeth to act like it was him.
Oh.
Because then, to paraphrase Jamie Kennedy, that's the moment where the killer reappears for one last scare, and that's when he's walking out in the fireman's get-up.
Yeah, but I didn't take it like that. You know what? This is how I thought. A firefighter was in there. He killed the firefighter, threw him in the fire, knocked out his teeth so they couldn't figure it out, and put his costume on.
That's what I was thinking.
But it kind of makes sense, too, like he knocked the one guy's teeth out.
I figured because it was just a generic white dude that he would... Because, what's it called? The, flashing back to when Anna originally called the military, you see on the file, I don't think that's the same guy. Like, I think David's not even him at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because I may be wrong, but he whoever it is definitely has dark hair, and David obviously has like light blonde hair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think not only was he like a super soldier, Bucky Barnes type, I guess,
Yeah.
but he also stole someone's identity also.
Yeah, I don't know. That was all kind of muddy.
Right, and I think it works. You don't need that. It works on its own, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny that we all kind of had different
interpretations
there.
Yeah,
of that ending.
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. If anyone knows, I'd love to know, because that's,
Yeah. If anyone makes it this far, please.
If you're 26 minutes in, please
give us your opinion.
Please.
The ending that I wanted to mention though is, yes, he walks out again wearing a firefighter suit, but I am bugged to hell that I can't remember what movie I was talking about. Okay, there is a movie that I remember watching when I was a kid where a girl gets loaded into an ambulance and she's tied down because she's going crazy. And is it the Terminator? Is it Terminator that I'm thinking of?
No, the end of Terminator, Sarah Connor drives off with a dog in a Jeep.
What about Terminator 2?
Same thing. I think she's just driving.
Fuck.
Because remember, he does the little thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
It's a happy ending.
Okay, there's something that she gets loaded into
I
an
tried
ambulance.
telling Vaux that's the survived female protagonist in the ambulance at the end of a horror movie with the killer on the way back. It's a trope.
Yeah,
basically.
I know it is.
Like,
but
just
I'm
off the
trying to
top of
remember.
my head, I know it happens in Halloween 2.
It's not any of the Halloween
And
movies. I'll tell you that right now.
as
It's
well
not a
as
Halloween movie.
most of the early Friday the 13th movies.
It's not one of those either.
So I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but if you list all of them that happen in the comments.
Let us know, because
she gets loaded into an ambulance right as they're closing the ambulance doors, right as it's cracked in slow motion. The bad guy walks by, and she's like, "No!" And they close the door, and credits roll. And I was like, that is exactly what just happened in this movie.
Right.
But why can't I remember the movie that it was, before?
That was a real tirade about nothing to do with the guest.
I know. Listen.
So, Vaux.
Yes.
Would you pick the guest or flick the guest?
I'd pick this.
Tosh?
I'd pick it.
And damn Skippy, this is getting a thumbs up for me. I think this is a 9 out of 10 on any day of the week.
Oof. If we're putting it on a scale, I'm going to go about 6.57.
I'll say like 8.
There you go. That's a unanimous thumbs up from... this might be the first time ever that's happened.
Maybe.
Maybe. If it is, congratulations.
No, Chucky.
Joker.
Child's Play. And Joker. We all agreed on
Okay,
that
well then
shit.
maybe I'm just taking the piss.
It doesn't matter.
Either way,
there's some
good on the guest. It was a great first for the marathon, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. If not, tell us why it sucks, because everyone knows everything.
That's right. We want to know your opinions. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I feel like Good Mythical Morning when I say that. And hit that bell.
You sound like every YouTuber that's ever lived.
True, but I'm still trying to get there,
So check us out.
Trying to get there.
If you hate us, cool. If you like us, even cooler.
And if it just so happens that someone wants to refer a movie to us,
we're always open.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet, but that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah. So we're waiting on it. That's it.
Don't forget to wear your seatbelts.
Anything else?
Look both ways before crossing the street.
Yeah. Read a book. Drink water.
Drink a lot of water. These are trying times. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Woo.
All right. That's where we ended right there.
I'll cut it off.